So, the last time we left off, you guys had just, well, most of you had just reappeared in the massive wreckage of the jungle that used to exist beneath the tiered moon. The trees are all gone, razed away by the heat and force of whatever. Well, you know what it was. It was a big, horrible moon laser that essentially completely destroyed the place and
Climate change, got it.
caused it to come crashing.
I mean, we know what it was, but we don't know what it was at the same time.
Yeah, crashing hundreds and hundreds of feet down to the ground. You can't even really see the lip of the crater you're in. The chunks of stone go so high in the ridges that they create in conjunction with the uneven topography. You exist in this, well, it's now simply no longer a jungle of trees, but a series of uneven hills and ridges that used to be enchanted with some kind of configurative magic, that some marvel that could transform a temple into a lotus, into a moon, and back, that will now no longer be able to. Something lost forever. A relic of a civilization that only Virgil ever even really set eyes upon. You had a brief reunion with Zavoim, who had saved a fair number of people from this devastation, but who hadn't saved a fair bit of other people, as there are burnt and charred corpses, not everywhere, but if you're more attentive than the glassy-eyed and stagnant echoes that still show up, then you'll see a few here and there. In the little wreckage you guys are all kind of gathered in, there's a little pyre, almost as if it had been lit like a campfire, just burning up out of the cracks of one of these ridges. And there's a few places to sit around it as well, though it is not of your own make. Zavoim has taken his departure, and I believe you guys heard footsteps approaching.
No, we already had this encounter.
Yeah, that was Cyrus, yeah?
Except it was a little bit off because technically Cecil was like actually fixed because his body died. It's complicated. We fucked up.
Veldana. Yeah, Veldana.
Thanks, Valdana.
Thanks, Veldana.
The
Thanks,
footsteps,
Valdana.
as you guys said, led to a man that Cecil recognizes as the person that was the first to confront him after his crash landing with Shurkin's crazy fucking cannonball ship. No longer wearing the fiery garb, now wearing the clothes of his true faction, the Tenebrae, and accompanied by a woman. And he's still up there, looking down on the rest of you.
Didn't we already
He
already
walked
leave?
away.
Yeah,
He walked away.
yeah, he pissed off last time.
Oh.
We spoke to him already, Eric.
Didn't we just... No, wait, didn't we
Didn't
leave
you say we
office?
fucked up? And I was just
No.
going to reiterate the scene with Cecil being fixed.
No.
No, they fucked up.
Do you remember what
Fair.
they said?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
they pissed off.
Alright, they pissed off then.
It's not that much of a big deal, just a few minor details from Cecil. I don't know if Cyrus, like, saw the bullshit that was going
If
on
he
with
did,
him
he
and
didn't
commented
care.
on it, but
Yeah, Cyrus was just like, wow, you guys survived. Haha, lol, bye.
yeah, so I think we're good with him having just fucked off.
So, there are you four. Albus isn't here, and I guess Virgil isn't either yet, either. As well.
Cecil turns back to look at Amalia and kind of like thumbs back to where Cyrus left, and was like, that was the Tenebrae outfit, yeah? I was right, yeah?
Sure, looked like it.
Well,
Stopped him. Well, I mean, should we have stopped him? I'm not really up for it.
Amalia looks around like it's been a busy day.
Yeah, maybe we should just let him go. I mean, Tenebrae is quite big.
Has anyone seen Virgil? Is he
Albus
still
is also
alive?
gone.
Oh, it's a shame, really. Damn.
I suppose I should ask if I saw Albus during that solo session?
Nope.
Oh god, okay, that's worrisome.
Amalia?
Yeah.
So, considering I'm technically a warlock now, I think, since I made a pact with the shadowy creature.
I don't think there's much technically about it.
Okay, yeah, I may have made a pact with patron shadow patron.
As you're saying this, Amalia just goes dead-eyed and like, oh, fuck, that actually happened.
So,
I
do you
didn't
mind?
imagine.
So, now I've weighed the pros and cons myself. Absolutely, I'm very, very aware of the ramifications that this might bring. But at the same time, do you have like a spellbook 101, something I could mull over?
Warlocks don't work in the same way my magic does. Sorry.
Oh, damn. Okay.
You get magic from your patron, and they give you a boon. That's
okay.
the basic gist of it.
Question: does it feel the same? Do you know that it what should I expect?
She shrugs. How would I know what being a warlock feels like?
I don't know. You're magic.
Yeah, you're a runny guy. Do you know what being a barbarian feels like?
It would
Yeah.
be funny if everyone turned out to be the reincarnation somehow of their earlier characters.
I mean, yeah, kind of. I mean, Sentra and I are quite good friends.
Oh, so you've got a barbarian friend, so you know what being a barbarian feels like.
Yeah, and you've got a warlock friend, so you should know what a warlock feels like.
And she's just like, who?
Me?
Both of you to assume you're friends.
Fine. Anyways, Amalia, if you want to be useless, I'll be with Catherine. Or Kavi? Is it
I'm
Catherine?
supremely useful.
Is it Catherine or Kavi? Which one's the
Either one. It's fine.
It's me, but she's not a warlock either, so...
Yeah, but she's a scientist.
Yeah, we can come up with a hypothesis here.
Exactly. Come on, Amalia.
All right, so what's your
Anyway.
first hypothesis?
My hypothesis is that I might not be okay. I'm kind of magic a little bit right now already, because I can freeze things a little bit in time. So that probably doesn't... I could do that before I became a warlock, which is, pretty cool. I'm not gonna gloat or anything, but I mean, it's pretty cool.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty cool, right? But no. What I was going to say is that maybe this Veldana lady is going to activate some sort of, I don't know, internal magic-y, self-actualization-y magic. Wonderful magic. But I actually don't know. Like, I'm trying to figure this out myself. I
All
haven't
right,
read it.
so then the dis hypothesis would be that you're not any more magic, and to test the hypothesis and the dis hypothesis, we need the discoursiness.
Do you have a magic detector? Is that a science thing?
I'm working on one, but it's not ready yet.
Are you
I need
mixing
some
up
time.
words again,
And it was
Catherine?
also supposed to be originally for Abraxi. Or wait, I forget. Have I seen Abraxi yet?
Um,
She says to no one in particular.
Yeah, I'm asking the DM.
Yeah.
have you guys gone exploring yet, or no?
Um,
Zavoim did say on his departure
Yeah.
that it would be a good idea to take a look around.
All right, then yeah.
Did
Okay,
Zap-
it was going to be Abraxi, but given that he's even emptier headed than he was before,
No,
Yes.
wait, I do remember we did find a Braxine. His head
Yeah.
was empty.
Uh-huh.
No, yeah, he's a bit of a pate right now, so.
how
Whatever
will
was in it.
that work? All that work. Well, if we find him in another, I don't know. Is he
Yeah.
gonna come back to life again?
I don't know, but hypothesis. What if his brain just like scuttled off? What if it grew legs?
Oh, do you think it might?
I mean, it's a plant. It could. Your plant grows legs.
Oh,
Just
that's
while
exceedingly scientifically.
while this
Kind of.
entire conversation is going on, Amalia is just sitting against the rock, watching it all happen, and just thinking, trying not to laugh her head off, but
Like, Cecil kind of turns and sees her stifling like the smile and is like, being silent doesn't make you any smarter.
Cecil, you don't only see Amalia.
Oh.
Sitting next to her is someone that looks vaguely familiar to you, but someone that you've never yourself set eyes upon.
Do I see this person or no?
If you look up, yes,
Frederick?
it is Amalia's friend Lofian,
Nice.
or as he calls
Cecil just-
himself, Truth Speaker.
The
Cecil just
tutor.
Oh, hey, you're that guy.
Cecil
Would you like
just
to
says
participate
Frederick.
in the science experiment?
What does Cecil say? Sorry.
Cecil just like kind of says Frederick for a second without really thinking about it, and then looks is like, oh no, actually, far too raggedy.
so Amalia's going to turn and look at this, and she's going to say, "You picked a great time to reappear here."
Almost as if he didn't hear your words, still appraising your party members, he says, "You know, they do have a little bit of a charm to them."
Was that loud
So
enough
you just
for
stay here, and Cecil will try to freeze you in time and see how long it takes for you to unfreeze. Is that how it works, Cecil?
Cecil,
I mean,
with your perception, you absolutely do hear.
hey, prick.
He just gives an idle, friendly wave.
I know, he can be our test experiment subject.
Do you want to be our test experiment as, penance for being rude?
Amalia just stands up,
he-
lays her hand on the anchor she's been dragging
Yeah,
around.
he holds up a hand as if to stop you, and kind of pushes off from the ledge, and lands softly on his bare feet.
Cecil
says-
points at Amalia and says, teacher's pet.
And he responds, "I suppose after my absence, it would only be appropriate."
Great, cool. Wave your arms up and down.
As he just starts flapping his arms like a bird, he still regards you in a somewhat serious way, Cecil, and he says, "I couldn't help but overhear your concerns about the nature of warlockdom, and
Yeah.
I may be able to help you find answers with them."
Excellent. Thank you. Very much appreciate it. Now, this might feel a bit odd. I don't actually know how it feels. So I'm just going to... And Rahimim?
Go ahead and roll. Spend the point of effort.
How many is it?
It's 1 point of effort to roll 24d8.
24d8. Thank you. 24 d8.
I just realized Rahimim's a really, really good way for you to test out if you can one-shot somebody. Yeah, he freezes.
All right. Now you can see I can do that. And I mean, look at him mid-motion. Look at that odd expression.
It's not even just the oddness of his expression or the fact that his arms are frozen in stasis. He's also not being affected by things like the wind or dust just somehow fails to adhere to his shoulders, as this cloud of ash that hangs overhead slowly descends. It's like
You see
he's-
him.
Go
So
on.
if you push him over, does he fall?
Wait. Before that, you see, Amalia, I was magic before I became a warlock. It's silver lining from here. It's all up. And Cecil's like, oh yeah, good question. And he tries to push over, teacher.
It is like trying to shove a wall.
Okay, no, he's stuck there. I could probably dig a trench under him.
Wait, what happens if you move this? What happens if you do that?
Well, let's check. And Cecil starts
Danger plant,
digging.
start digging.
Yeah, as if Danger Plank digs under his feet, I'm assuming he's stuck in midair.
Yep.
Wow, that is so cool. So
It
what
is
happens
actually
if
quite
you shoot
neat.
him?
I don't want to try that. I mean,
Not even for science?
Shooting him with what that wouldn't be lethal to someone who's wearing. He's not wearing any armor, is he?
No, he's wearing. He
Yeah.
looks like a homeless guy on a beach.
Yeah, we absolutely shouldn't be shooting this person. I think
I
that.
could just throw a bullet at him and see if he bruises afterwards.
Oh, good idea.
I love
Alright,
how
here,
you're
take
talking
one.
about this. I love how you're talking about this shit while I'm standing literally 5 feet from you.
Oh, what are you gonna do?
Well,
Tell the
that's sad
principal.
We're not going to kill him. Sheesh.
Eh.
No, I was thinking more. I don't know. Maybe do something. I don't know, magic.
Oh yeah, what are you gonna do? Absorb element time?
No, probably just throw a fireball at you
Oh, good luck. I'll freeze it.
while you're concentrating on him.
I'm not concentrating on him.
Well, hypothetically and dishypothetically,
Those aren't words. So Amalia is gonna actually, you have got her attention there. It's like, wait, you're not concentrating on this?
No, I just do one of these. And snap, Rachimim is over.
So he falls backwards first because you tried to shove him, and then he starts to fall into the hole, catches himself with feather fall, and so he stops like a couple inches before impact. Just
That
after
actually
snapping his
explains-
fingers.
Okay, no, that explains something. It holds kinetic, energy. I could smack him, he would stay still, but then when it unfroze, his head would turn. That's actually quite interesting.
He looks.
this is great. Can you do it on inanimate objects too?
Wait,
Um,
wait. Hold on, just a second.
Mhm.
And he kind of deactivates Featherfall and climbs up out of the
It's
little
not that deep.
Yeah,
It's
I know.
maybe 2 feet.
shitty hole that you guys spent time digging, and he just kind of idly pushes some rocks into it so it doesn't mess with the general scenery. He kind
Yeah.
of likes the feel for this place,
It's a nice
and he
spot.
says that he clearly has no idea what happened.
I mean, yeah, pretty cool, right?
Amalia's gonna turn to him and it's like, it's not. She's.
Wait, I have to write it
she's
down.
quite confused
Give me a
herself.
notebook. I have to write down our results.
Roger.
Otherwise,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
not a
yeah.
real experiment.
It's not like time stuff because he only affected you.
Yeah, exactly.
You're telling me this person just casted Time Stop or something similar?
Yeah, it froze you in time. I did
she-
it with the moon a couple of.
She shakes her head. No. I mean, from what I understand, time stop should just affect everyone but him. whereas
I'm the warlock here. Anyways,
Roderick
Um,
throws you
yeah,
a notebook.
yeah,
Catherine.
shut up.
what I was going to say.
Warlocks don't investigate spells. Wizards do. Shut up.
Yeah, well,
Will you
I mean, you don't know what a warlock does, apparently.
Until
I
you
told you what a warlock did.
You clearly don't know how it feels to be one. Anyways.
Because I'm a wizard.
Exactly. Anyways, like I was saying. Yeah, I mean, I could freeze you in time. I could freeze the moon in time. Which is something I did, actually. It was quite cool.
And this isn't
but-
connected to your warlockdom.
No, actually, that happened immediately after. I stopped the moon to get Valdana, Shadow Woman, is attention.
All right, perfect. And it looks like he immediately stops caring about how the fuck you did that because he's focused on helping you with your warlockdom. I'm
Yeah,
not
speaking
going
of
to
warlockdom, yeah.
try and
And
explain
he doesn't
things
recognize the name Veldana.
above my pay grade. Did you say Vildana?
Yeah, she's my patron.
He turns to his left, opens a door in space, and vanishes.
Honestly.
Molly just stands there just for a second and then
Oh.
like, yeah, no. She nods.
Catherine, add something to the notes.
All right.
Amalia's teacher's a bitch.
Oh, that I already wrote on the first page.
Ah.
Oh my goodness.
Well, Amalia, you and your tutor, you know, like apple to
They're kind
tree.
of
both you-
self-righteous, you know. Well, if they were self-righteous, it wouldn't be the problem. It's they're trying to get everyone else to be righteous too.
Yeah, a little bit. I'm not a fan.
Is there anything anyone wants to bring up that's particularly pressing?
Janice just like, Amalia's just like, well, you know, tough shit. And she turns around.
You know, you could stand to lighten up.
Oh, believe me, I was. Before I met you guys, wow.
Well, you do have this kind of high and mighty stature without particularly doing as much. I mean, we all contribute. You're the one who seems to, you know, suspect everyone else is slacking. It's not like you keep anyone in check.
I've killed 3 gods in the last 3 days.
Yeah, and
So have
that's
we.
not exact. Yeah, that's not. I mean, yeah, you could tell someone who, you know, wasn't part of our motley crew that. Very impressive. Aw, good job. But, I mean, all of us are kind of doing the same thing in the same ballpark. We're all approximately peers at the moment. And you're certainly not a captain, even less so now that our ship is broken. You weren't even a captain then.
Well, I mean that's a bit harsh.
Yeah, well, you know what? I'm sick of this high and mighty nonsense. We're all in this together, and we should treat each other with similar amounts of respect.
Roderick just kind of...
But what if I don't respect you guys? You still respect me, right?
Well, yeah, because you're not a dick about it.
All right.
I mean, I don't respect me.
Roderick looks at Cecil with like this glint in his eyes that's never been there before, like simultaneous wonder and also disbelief. And then he looks up at Amalia, who's kind of facing away on the ridge she was sitting on, and he says, You know what? Oh, damn it, where's Virgil in a time like this? And we're going to scene change. Virgil, you feel weight all around you, but mostly above you, as your arms and legs are kind of caked in dust and ash, and little bits of light are filtering down through the gaps in the rocks that are covering you, as it's only just a little bit of rubble. But you feel footsteps kind of passing idly maybe 20 feet to your left. And the weight of the rocks isn't so great that you can't merely just push up out of them, as you have reawakened on
Alright.
Jericho.
Well, no portal reconstitution this time. Fuck.
Do you look over?
Yeah.
You see 2 individuals, both dressed in Tenebrae garb, just kind of chatting amongst themselves, walking. They don't look like they're gonna cross your path, but they're, like I said, only 15 to 20 feet away.
Nope. Not dealing with it. Nope. I'm gonna walk in the opposite direction.
Alright, so you get up and start dusting yourself off and getting all the rocks out of your clothes and your shoes. There's probably a lot in your shoes. It looks like one of
It's
them gives
everywhere.
you a glance, but nothing more than that. And you see Amalia facing your direction, in the far distance, probably like 600, 700 feet away, and it's over quite a few ridges. Amalia, in this moment that Roderick has begun speaking, you see a little cat boy far away, standing on another ridge facing you. And at this moment, it's when Roderick says, I think... Oh, what a shame Virgil isn't here for this. Amalia, could you come down here, please?
Funny you should mention that, because I think I can see him over there.
Oh, great!
Oh,
I'll
he's
tell him
alive.
what you guys told me about Abraxas. No, wait, he was with you, so he'd know that already.
You don't happen to see Albus up there too, do you?
Presumably not, I'm assuming.
Go ahead and roll perception.
Aye. Boop.
Well, that's out of my system. You know, we all came up on the surface, but there is a chance that, one of us might not have. It's a bit of a grim thought, but...
As you scan the horizon, Amalia, for Albus, you find yourself merely looking for the silhouette of someone whose face you can't recall very clearly. You do not
You're
find
being
him.
retconned out?
He's not being retconned out.
As far as I can see, I can't. No, I can't see him.
Well, make sure Virgil sees you, and let's have a bit of a rally. There's some things I want to talk about.
Great. Roger, can I get my coat back?
So
Oh,
Amalia,
Absolutely. It's a little tight on my shoulders, actually. He takes it off. He takes out a scroll of prestidigitation and cleans it for you instantly before your eyes, hands it back, and also produces one of his bowler caps somehow, and hands that to you as well.
While looking at the
Prestidigitation.
Yeah,
Thank you.
everyone hates it.
Cecil's like, I heard that spell could be used to make you
Prestidigitation.
piss your pants. And he puts the coat and bowler hat on, just as he says, kind of matter-of-factly.
I have never had the inclination to even try.
Yeah, it's just a weird prank, I guess.
What kind of simpleton would even come up with that?
Don't know.
I
it
can
was
think of a
from-
few of the cousins.
Really?
Not to mention any names. Well, actually, they're dead now, so I can mention their names. There
Oh,
was Danny and...
while you're doing this, Amalia
Little
just shoots
Nancy.
dancing lights up into the air for Virgil to see.
You make your
Yep.
way over, Virgil.
I'm gonna start making my way downtown.
So, after a few minutes, you come up with the rest of the party. There's a bit of a somber atmosphere as Roderick kind of just gives you this half-hearted little wave.
Oh, hey, Virgil. What kept you?
I was
Yeah.
I have some information.
Yeah?
Let's
I have
Keep
some
it at that.
information, too. Abraxas' brain crawled away.
Well, that's a hypothesis that we're
God
working
damn
with.
it. No,
But it
no,
seems pretty
I'd be
likely.
willing to bet. I wonder. Well, I think I know our destination for dealing with that.
Oh, and Virgil, actually, something kind of interesting. My ability is not just stopping the moon. It's apparently also things, too.
Roderick holds up a hand. I'd love for all of us to catch up. But we are more important than our abilities, and that
True.
was what I wanted to address.
Well, we're kind of after the, this is the calm after the storm, I guess, so do you want to set up camp?
He looks around.
I'm not walking out of here today, God.
Doesn't look like it's gonna rain, at least.
If it does, it might clear the ash. Kind of nice, actually.
Ugh. Spent so much time picking
You know
out
any
rocks, don't
warlocky
even
spells
remind
for,
me.
keeping rain off?
Um,
Or clearing
I'm-
ash? Either one.
I could I could theoretically keep a single droplet off, I guess.
Oh god, that wasn't a hallucination before we all disintegrated.
No, it wasn't. Welcome back. To the land of the living, I think?
So you're
Remind me-
gonna say we're kept?
Actually, for that reminder, remind me to check you all over for any scars.
Okay. Half land of the half living, then.
Okay. How thorough is this checking gonna be? Because, like, I don't like you that way.
Yeah, same, actually.
As Virgil says this, kind of unconsciously, your what was it called? The Septuagint spiral just springs up off of your left arm and animates itself.
Oh, cool.
It's
It
this
did that.
it's this coil of this aqua blue energy just kind of acting like a little animate string, just spiraling around his left arm a few inches
What?
off of the surface.
Oh, sick. Wicked.
I'm gonna need
But-
to dehypothesize that.
Dehypothesize? You mean stop
That's
asking
not a
questions?
word.
It might be a word. I'm willing to believe anything. Worlds are colliding, Virgil.
Roderick just slowly shakes his head at you, Virgil. It's not worth the effort. Not with her.
Right. Well, let's set up camp. There's plenty of dead wood around here. It's actually mostly just dead wood at the moment. It's already kind of charred though. Some of it.
Well,
Let's go
I mean,
find a
that
place.
just shows it's burnable.
That's
right?
true. Yeah, exactly. Let's go find a place that doesn't smell so terribly of burning hair.
Roderick kind of stands up and leaves you guys to that. He moves over to you, Amalia, who I assume you don't have anything to say, or
Not at the moment, no. But she is currently looking for silver blood.
okay. Listen, he's just kind of walking with you as you search. Those things that Cecil said. They didn't strike too deep a chord, did they?
So as she's walking along, she shrugs and she says, "Well, he has every right to say them. Don't have a ship. Should I captain at this point? Just desperately trying to keep." And she sort of turns her head back. Really, what I thought my first crew was going to be.
I think, and this is awfully presumptuous as somebody that is as earth-shaking as my experiences have been the past few weeks. I can't imagine what it's like to have agency in a situation like this. Can't imagine what you are going through. But he also looks back at the rest of the party. I only saw from a distance when he cut Guido down after learning what he had done. And then seeing the rest of them all hunched over Centra's, you know. It was a very tense 15 or so minutes. And to be frank, I'm not sure if he looks around. Well, it had to have been for nothing now, right? There's no way he survived that. There's...
Do I remember seeing Razorface just fly off with him?
I think that
So I
was
know-
just Cecil.
Know that happened, but I do not remember.
I'm almost positive it was just Cecil because it was a perception thing. It might also be a Catherine thing. Catherine, I think you saw it as well.
Yeah.
Um,
By coincidence, we're the people that Amalia really doesn't want to talk to right now.
he says, listen, if I can just give you the advice of someone who's been in a very cold field for a very long time. Someone who's had to fight off people that try to pry away my secrets. There is value to having people close enough that you can show them some weakness. You don't have to be the captain 24 hours a day. Try just being a captain when there's a big wave in front of you that you have to confront. The rest of the time, maybe they need a friend.
So Amalia is just gonna smile a little bit, and she's gonna say, "Well, my papa was never he wasn't a captain. Well, might have been at some point, but most of the years I knew him on, he was a ship's cook." Yeah, I never really got that either. I mean, if you think I'm strong, he was like fair. And she keeps just basically shoving through bits of debris to emphasize this.
Roll investigation. Am I the one that needs to be hearing this? He kind of pointedly gives a little bit of a nod back to the rest of the group.
She shrugs. And she says, ever since I was a little girl, I've heard stories about people going out to sea, having all these big adventures. Here I am, in my own one. Spent most of it just trying to reel in the people I have to work with. I have kind of something of a realization. Don't always have to fight the wind. Sometimes you just have to tack with it and let it go.
You find a half-sheathed dagger sticking up out between two rocks, and you recognize it as one of Asalia's.
By the way, this is entirely figurative because I've just remembered she was like alive.
Yep. Zavoim had mentioned, but you hadn't seen her specifically. Zavoim had said that she was one of the people that he had saved.
Well, this is her dagger. And she's like, swear to God, if she's fucked up somewhere. Didn't she have like 2 broken legs or something?
I can barely remember a thing that happened up on that crazy transforming temple flower, whatever the fuck that was. That said, I've said what I thought I needed to. You can probably do the rest of this thinking on your own. I'm going to head back. But do know that, as someone that has tried for much longer than you to rein in Catherine, Sometimes it's just a fruitless effort. And you have to take their charms for what they are. I am sorry that this has happened to you. I would have liked to meet your father. And he turns around and walks back to the rest of the group.
Since they're all kind of around the same area, Cecil kind of moves over to Virgil and is like, I don't think I ever said it, officially. You know I'm not trying, or at least making sure I don't have to kill you anymore, yeah? Like, that's a bit out the window at this point. Just so you...
I would certainly imagine that we are putting that aside for
Yeah, cards on the
fate
table.
of two worlds or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. I was just making sure that you know that, I knew. Because I don't actually think we had the chance to say anything about it. I mean, kind of left off on a sour note.
Well, I mean, there's a lot we could talk about it all.
Yeah, absolutely. But there are some things that do take vague precedent, like whatever arcane knowledge you figured out when you were wherever you were.
Boy, let me tell you.
And for the sake of convenience, this is when Roderick gets back.
Wadwick.
Go ahead and continue.
Boy, let me tell you, there's a lot. Our boss, as he were, isn't all that. He's a mess, just like any human.
Well, yeah. I mean, he's a bit enslaved us, but yeah, okay.
I'll tell everyone around the campfire or what the hell ever. As to you and I, well, I think we work well together.
I mean, theoretically, it hasn't really particularly happened yet. I mean, I don't remember. I mean, there was maybe a few times. We really should do it more, honestly. We've been split
Do you
for
want
quite
an
some
apple?
time. Do you have any orange-flavored candy things?
Well, yeah, I'm not as good as apples, but sure, yeah.
Yeah, well...
What do they do?
Fine to be wrong,
Sure, yep. Whatever it takes.
You've seen Virgil give
Chummy
people
old
candy
pal.
before. He has an Emolite machine that makes it to order.
Yep.
That's pretty Chad.
Roderick.
So,
asks
I'm
for-
sorry
all the
that
different
I didn't-
flavors.
I wasn't able to complete my, inside examination thing. But on the bright side, you do have most of Apraxe's body right there, so you can examine him anyway.
Well, the body doesn't matter. It was whatever was in his head, yeah?
And I could probably should I keep working on it on the basis that we might find a person who has Apraxe inside him again, or should I try to modify it so that it's just a general?
Well, the interesting thing, one of the interesting things about Abraxas is that he actually, had his tendons grow back, but I had seen that he didn't have tendons, but he made them grow back. So, I mean, the body is still definitely worth checking, because if that's a normal human body, there's no telling that they could have even piloted out, perhaps, this brain could have maybe even crawled out and gotten into a new subject in that very airship, even possibly. But there's definitely some weird ass explanation. Look, if we go, when I lay out everything that I've learned, we have three choices, and one of them involves him. It involves him. So if we go to that one, we'll deal with that.
All right, I'll
bullshit.
keep working on my little experiment. Maybe I could try to add a few modifications so that multiple uses.
So, Eric, I'm just going to presume that I don't find Silverblood.
You do not.
Right, okay. Mali's going to come back at this point and listening to this. It's like Virgil Abraxas a denizen.
Yep.
What?
Yep, he sure is.
Okay.
Yes, we discussed this. Yes.
Oh right.
Yeah, they
no,
told
no,
me.
no, 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 yeah.
So it's like, he's
So
Look
we
at
didn't. So we didn't discuss it with you. It was just me and Virgil. You don't have to pretend.
Yes, Cecil and Kavi did not know.
Oh,
Okay.
I thought you guys would have you probably mentioned that he was a fungus at some point, but you might have not mentioned that he was a denizen.
Cecil was totally like bullshitting to fit in. Fuck. Yeah. Well, yeah.
A denizen? Then how was this? How?
I mean, that
Roderick
would
holds
explain
up
a
a
lot.
hand.
And about
Are we sure it was him and not whatever was in his head?
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Whatever is
either
in his
way,
head is
right now. Yeah.
well, like Catherine and I were talking, is like the brain probably scuttled out. I mean, it's this weird, probably little fucking.
He emits a low sigh as his eyes haven't really left Abraxas' body, and he says, "I look at that, and all I see is a man."
Yeah, he's just an old prick. The
Yeah,
brain
well,
left.
he came to life like thrice after I killed him, so he's not. He.
Yeah.
I still don't know the tendon thing. I
I
still
Virgil.
don't.
wonder
Virgil.
if he is a fungus denizen though, who goes in bodies. And I did have him stand over the graves of those people, and at a previous at a previous place for for science.
Listen,
Wasn't Jidek one of them?
I'm not.
Can I just
Go ahead.
can I roll to see if I'm presuming that the fact that we recently killed a fungus-based horrible monster and
Oh.
the fungus-based
Wait.
horrible monster.
Yeah, you're
is in
following the
fact
same
it
train of logic
disappeared.
that Virgil
Actually-
did.
I have actually an important piece of information about Jidect. Almost
Yes?
certain it wasn't whatever this is. You see, Abraxi, when infested by whatever fungal creature was inside of his head, didn't smell like death, where Jidek's body was kept alive with runes.
Runes. Virgil turns to the resident wizard.
Yeah, it's just. Oh yeah, there were some kind of dark magic. I dispelled them and then
Yeah,
shoved
no,
them blew into smithereens.
that was necromancy. Whatever this is some sort of fungal infestation.
So yeah, can I roll on that? What would that be?
And this is rolling on specifically relating Abraxas' stuff to the manifestation of the indestructible that was in the Sylvan district.
Yep.
Yeah, go ahead.
Was Arcana, history.
It would be Arcana. Arcana would get you the best information. Investigation is your most surefire route to some information that's applicable.
Arcana.
I have a +8.
Alright, so this is essentially an example of all squares are rectangles, not all rectangles are squares, where your best guess is that the Abraxi equals denizen thing, it's a plausible theorem, but it's in no way really guaranteed. After all, the relation you made between Antikythera and the Sylvan district is that the Sylvan district, like, it's rife jungles and deep intertwining underground cave systems. That was reality changing because of Antikythera's existence. The indestructible wasn't specifically the fungal network that was controlling the crawling Acalia, but the fungal network that was controlling the crawling Acalia only existed because of the indestructible, if that makes sense. This thing seems to be a lot more direct. The Abraxi thing doesn't seem like it's a phenomenon that is new to the world because of the existence of a denizen. It seems like if it's a denizen, then it's somehow managed to come into reality as what it is.
annoying. I can't remember what I was doing when I had the Abraxia vision in the first place.
Well, I've got a question for you all. Where is it that we go after this?
Roderick holds up his
I
hand.
have the answer.
Before we move on, I'm just going to say that as stomach turning as it is, listening to you all postulate on how we want to desecrate this corpse, like I said, I still see a man. After we're done with it, could we please give it a burial?
And then we can watch and see if it comes out of the ground afterwards?
Whatever helps you sleep, Catherine.
I would.
I mean, we could give it a Viking burial without the ocean and just set it on fire.
Great, what's a Viking?
Okay, would it be?
Whatever the equivalent is in this universe.
I don't give a fuck. Yeah.
Jesus is real. Shut up.
I mean, yeah, fair. Would it be? Can I still check the body using the Septuagint? Does that count? I mean, I guess I just.
Are you saying this in character?
Isn't this
No,
Septuagint?
no.
Like,
I'm
the
wondering.
That- Greek translation of the Bible?
Yes, it is.
I looked it up.
The Septuagint.
Technically speaking, I don't. I think it would be fine.
Apocrypha says use a point of effort to deeply analyze a creature. It doesn't say living creature, so yes.
Yeah. Well, I think I am going to settle this bit once and for all. But if he's a normal human because the brain isn't out, we at least know that.
Virgil, I bet you 30 gold that it's a normal body.
I don't take bets I'm unsure of, kid.
Kid? I think I'm older than you.
And we're gonna touch it and use a point of effort.
All right, so you guys all watch as the
I'm
coiling.
helping.
You can't really help this.
Okay.
The coiling spiral of aqua blue energy just kind of slurps up Abraxia's nostril and disappears, and then the body as a whole just starts to emit this soft glow of the same color.
I've got to learn how to do this.
You know, I caught Death in the West doing that to me once when I was asleep.
That's so
Huh.
gross.
Terrifying.
Now, Virgil, the effects of Apocrypha, any weaknesses and affinities are communicated to you.
Here, let me.
This corpse will always have its location known to you, and you can try to communicate to it mentally if you'd like.
I mean, there's not much to communicate with. Its brain is
I
missing.
mean,
I know,
theoretically,
but-
it could still be linked to the brain.
It's true.
So, I'll give you the weaknesses. It's weak to literally everything that a regular human is, except, notably, much more so fire. It's also in a
Because
state.
fungus.
It's in a state of decay that is much more similar to a plant withering than a human decomposing. So it is not a regular body. It still looks like it has the aspects of plant that it used to. Shut up, Jonah.
Yeah, well, I'm next in line.
I will kill you.
Well, the good news is, it's very planty.
Ah, shit.
I think that's my cue.
Yeah. I mean, do you want to see if you can plant him?
Oh, that's a great idea. After
Alright.
I of course.
See, Roderick? Proper burial.
You know, in a
Exactly
way, a
how everybody's
burial
happy.
is planting.
Roderick's just sitting on a piece of rubble, facing away and holding his head in his hands.
It's fair.
Okay,
What
do I
do you
roll
expect?
medicine
We're from
or
Nazareth.
nature or investigation?
And they
Cecil
will each
sits
give you
next to
different things.
Roderick.
It's whichever you
You
like.
know, you keep saying you're from Nazareth, and yet everyone you've met in Nazareth is like disgusted by your actions.
Oh, I thought you were talking to Roderick.
Well, I mean, you say that, yes, but at the same time, look at us. We're all immoral fucks.
Speak for
Yeah,
yourself.
immoral.
All right, I got a
you're,
20.
you're kind of blaming it on where you come from, and yeah, everyone from where you come from is disgusted by you.
So-
Cecil like turns back and is like, I'm not
And I'm
immoral."
disgusted by what they do.
Catherine,
Yes.
It's a fair trade.
with a 20 in nature, what exactly are you looking for?
basically, what's plant? Which bits of him specifically are plant-like?
It
and-
definitely is much more plant-like. It looks like the body underwent a transformation after it started being influenced by the brain. As the closer to the cranial cavity you go, the more plant-like the body's structure is.
Does it look like any plant I know?
It exhibits
Fungi are not
it
plants.
exhibits traits of flowers. Not
Hmm.
not like the flower portions, but like wildflowers as plants.
So,
It looks like Abraxi would theoretically have a fertile season, whatever the fuck that means.
yeah,
Um,
I'm having some interesting mental images there.
And as you get
Possibly
closer,
bonus fault.
as you get closer to the extremities, especially the toes, as you get further and further from the cranial cavity, you actually start to find some portions that just weren't completely converted. You start to find some blood vessels, some regular human bits.
Very okay. I'm going to examine basically the points, the junctures, like the transition points. I mean,
It's almost seamless. It's like a gradient.
all right. So yeah, it looks like he was transforming headfirst into a plant, and he would have gone into bloom, quite possibly, if he'd survived long enough.
Well, thankfully this body didn't. Who's to say for the next one?
I wonder where he would have bloomed from. I can't quite tell. Pity.
I don't want to think about that image.
So like,
does it not work? You know what makes me think? If it's a plant and it's regrowing itself, which is presumably what's happening here, why does it keep regrowing the same old man?
Maybe that's the template that, he got infected when he was an old man. So that's what it knows as the ideal body.
It's certainly possible.
This is
We'll
the
find
ideal fungal body.
out when we deal
may
with
not
it.
Like it, but this is what peak performance is.
can you mute Jonah in real life?
Okay,
He's
you know what?
talking
That one was
Unfortunately, no.
kind of funny. That one was kind of funny. Just
So,
It was.
Say Eric,
What's up?
how did Florians come about?
It's a good question. Amalia doesn't really know. Neither do the rest of you. You do know that it's.
I mean, that would be a
it's
very
been-
personal question.
It was they either recently arrived, because there isn't a lot chronicling Florians in like history books. Specifically, nothing from the what's it called? Nothing from like Bright Shore Academia really goes into Florians. So they're either highly regional in a place that is kind of remote, or they haven't been around very long.
they're just
once-
every bush.
Submitted a speculative academic paper on the plant-like characteristics of people, but it got rejected by the university for some reason.
on the grounds of being, what, racist, I guess?
Eric, was Dirt Scritch among the dead people?
Dirt
Wanna go
Scritch was a fair distance away. However, it does look like this wreckage spreads for quite some distance. And probably the fastest way to get to Dirt Scritch is for Amalia to make a teleportation circle and get you guys to the boat.
Yeah. So Roderick and Cecil are kind of sitting and looking out at this, backs turned to the speculation. And Cecil kind of like speaks up and is like, maybe it's just where I grew up, but it seems like a bit of a hollow gesture to bury one person in this upturned graveyard.
Gestures are sometimes the things that are easiest to cling to when there's nothing else there.
True, but at the same time, what's one to the thousands? I mean, there's nothing less humanizing than turning millions dead into statistics.
Maybe I'll write about them.
Not to say it's not nice to, the mental image of turning this whole place into, one big memorial. But I hate to say it, we don't have much time for it, and I don't see the reason in showing respect to one old man when there's probably, God, who knows how many grandparents buried in this pile of ash.
Roderick thinks about that for a bit. You're right. I think I will.
You will? You'll what?
I'm going to give them posterity through writing.
Hmm.
It's the only way I can. And it's absolutely what they deserve.
It's true. I'll do something of my own ilk.
He looks
I mean,
at
it's
you
the least...
and kind of... Cecil,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not usually a very huggy person, but he kind of postulatively opens his arms.
What are you doing?
He closes them. Don't worry about it.
No. It's yeah, no, yeah. No, do it. It's sorry. Hasn't happened before.
He cracks a smile and just shakes his head a little bit and says, "No, it's okay."
No. Here. And
Cecil hugged a Virgil once. You mean tell me he don't know what a hug is?
no, he knows what a hug is. It just hasn't happened in a while. And also, the one with Virgil was brief and unhappy.
Fair.
Leans over and hugs Roderick.
He kind of lowers his head a bit as you do, and you just feel his shoulders start to heave.
It's been a long day.
So, Virgil, you said you were gonna give the party somewhere to go?
Yep. So, I want to lay out everything that Virgil learned, but I don't want to spend all that time on what he learned. Because that will
It'll take you like 2
pretty-
minutes. Talk about it.
I don't wanna.
Listen, buddy, this is a talk session. Talk.
Alright, fine. Well, once everyone else left, it took a while. I want to say about, well, gosh, it felt like an eternity, an absolute eternity, but probably only about 30, 45 minutes or so, roughly. While I was waiting, because I couldn't do anything to wake him up, I figured I would wait, and if things went wrong, I don't fucking know, I'd have tried something, probably. And as I was waiting, I noticed these fucking images. He was dreaming. 4 seconds at a time. A person doing one thing here, a person with a horse doing another thing there, and very fractally, moments in time, moments in other planes, perhaps.
Fascinating.
I don't know. I don't know for certain, but he did eventually wake up.
Oh,
So we are good there. And there was a lot of talking involved. He's uncertain of us. if he's doing the right thing by lending his power to us.
Okay.
And he's uncertain of humans as a whole. They always seem to catch him off guard. That's what took him so much effort, was defending us from what a humankind, quote unquote,
There's,
had done. Hmm?
I mean, that's a weight off my conscience. There's only about 3 humans here.
Well, you know, figure of speech. Hmm?
I think he means mortals.
I'm joking.
Didn't work.
Oh, is that frostbite or a hickey on your neck? Anyways,
Well, he also doesn't particularly like being referred to as all powerful or anything like that, because he is weak and he's leaving us humans to do the dirty work, mortals to do the dirty work and whatever.
great.
And
That
All
would
right, I had
be
no intention of calling him all powerful anyway.
Yeah,
would
no,
be
yeah,
the-
no.
that would be because he's the weakest of them.
mhm.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess that kind of eases the conscience when we inevitably have to kill him.
It
That's
is what
not,
he wants
that's
after
not going
all.
to be an issue. He's setting himself up to die.
Yeah,
when
I
he
mean-
kills.
Yeah, light a match. But,
I'm melting!
You think
I'm
he will?
melting!
while you discuss this, just tell me where to go when you're done. I've got something to take care of. And Cecil stands up.
See,
And
that's the thing. We were given 3 possible choices, if you want me to cut it so bluntly. Instead of
excellent.
telling
I'm
you
one of.
more about our boss.
All right, I leave my vote to Amalia. Bye. And Cecil heads off for the biggest piece of rubble in the area.
Okay.
It's pretty obvious, but it's a decent bit away.
Great.
Okay. One important thing to note is that he spent a lot of oomph doing that. So, he told me that it was uncertain if he had enough oomph to give us more power, or for that matter, even bring us back. So, I think we should go easy on any reckless decisions for a while. In that, because we have been wearing him thin. We have been wearing him thin, and it is only right to not make
Well,
sure
if
the
nobody
Iceman
dies
cracks.
or anything like that, he gets strong enough to, he gets his strength back or no?
Well, I imagine it regenerates over time. I offered him to take mine back to strengthen him, but he said that he was uncertain it even worked like that, that what he was doing was new waters. So, we'll have to be extra
New ices, I think.
careful.
Something occurs to you, Amalia, as Virgil's going over all of this. Maybe this has to do with the fact that none of you have seen Elvis.
Albus wasn't in Eden with you, was he?
No, he wasn't.
We haven't found him yet.
Still?
So you think he's normal dead instead of us dead?
Amalia doesn't know, so guess she's going to roll something on that. I don't know.
Insight?
Sure. +3.
The most surefire way would be to just kind of don't worry about it now, and then when you guys go to sleep, see what happens.
So yeah, at that she's going to shrug and she's going to say, "Well, my best bet is that we will be able to find something out when we My best bet is that we can find something out when we sleep, but right now,
Which brings me to those three. As I was looking over the Iceman, really should think of a name for him, just so we don't stop sounding like fourth graders.
I had a name for him. We agreed and everything. He didn't want to kill me afterwards.
Well, why don't you share with the rest of the class?
Because I personally do not remember what it was.
Let's come
Great
up with
job.
Another one.
I'm trying to find it just now.
Well, we are left with three choices. I informed him of what Jericho was like, and he decided to share his insights. One,
Oh, goody.
he wants us to check that Cloud City back where the Chero's district was, what was on the opposite side of it. Two, he thinks that we might find information about the fungal in Bastio, the Bastio district. And three, he believes that we can find something in the Eleusian district, Aluk district.
Both work.
And while I'm personally thinking about it, since we defeated another denizen, we should also check on where that teleportation circle led in Eden as well.
Sorry, what teleportation circle?
The one that led to the tower with the glowing dots.
Roll insight, Virgil.
I mean, I can infer that it
No, it's fine.
ain't nothing gonna more happen until
Uh,
fucking we kill more of them.
No, insight is you get nothing.
It's fair.
Amalia scratches her head. I was like, Virgil, I drew that teleportation circle. It leads to all the
Yes.
other ones.
Huh. Asked and answered.
No, I mean specifically that tower.
Yeah, I remember that tower, but it has a bunch of dots in it that light up. I mean,
Presumably, they'll light up with the denizens, the death of the denizens. Yes.
right, so didn't you suffer horribly from teleporting through that?
I'm used to suffering.
So, Cecil,
Mm-hmm.
you're making your way to the biggest, largest piece of stone rubble jutting up out of the scenery.
Yes.
Are you doing anything in particular as you're going, or is this just out for a walk to clear your mind?
No, it's with a purpose in mind, but the purpose only matters when we get there.
Alright, so you get there.
Great. Death in the West unfurls off of Cecil's back, and he begins to write something in the flattest part of the stone, in large letters that kind of require him to climb up and then drag it down.
You're carving a memorial?
No, not specifically. By the time it's done, God knows how long that takes, it says, "To those who have time, start digging and find a body."
Huh. This doesn't apply to us, right? Because
No, we don't have time.
Is how good or
Oh,
bad?
great.
High is good.
Alright.
Okay, pretty good.
So, we'll say an hour and a half later. You've just finished the message and you're heading down off, and you can already see all the tiny shapes of people that have gotten up and are starting to heed your words. Even before you're done.
Nice. We get a nice shot of Cecil being the only one walking in the opposite direction as he heads back to the group. Wordless.
You all can see this as well.
Sorry, why did he carve into the thing?
Go ahead.
It says specifically, for those who have time, dig a hole and find a body.
And meanwhile, the Abraxy fungus goes, "Oh, great! All right, I have my pick of bodies."
Dig a hole and find the body?
Yeah.
Yeah, dig a hole in the head.
Just make a
in the
bunch of
head and-
graves. You know, it's an attempt to make a bunch of makeshift graves. Because I mean, one person can't do it, and burying Abraxy wouldn't have done anything specific. So you know, this is a happy little compromise.
No, if you want to do that, then no, we can absolutely do that in like 5 minutes. Molly just casts shatter on the ground. There's a hole.
That's
Done.
that's not gonna make a hole. It's gonna break everything.
I'm pretty sure that makes a hole.
Shatter isn't vacuuming material.
It's not vacuuming material. It's just going to detonate, blow a hole in the ground, and then you can just dump the
As
body.
far as I'm aware, that's just making a crater-wide sinkhole.
All right, so we throw all the bodies into the sinkhole.
God,
Right,
you
yeah,
guys are so
you-
fucked up. Just let the
made-
nice moment be a nice moment.
I mean, Virgil isn't really wrong when he says this party is very immoral.
I mean, Cecil has done nothing amoral since the start. TBH.
He's killed
He's
people.
also a professional assassin.
Right,
By that
killing
logic,
people-
he's immoral.
Alright,
Right,
killing people
I
is not
mean-
amoral.
Citation needed.
I go back and listen. Amalia has killed more innocents than Cecil.
Anyway,
Yeah,
I'm
Cecil
the
doesn't kill him.
citation-
He kills guilty, so
citation
that's
needed.
completely different.
That's
so
true.
Cecil gets back, and what are everyone's votes? What do you want to do? You have the Aluk district, which is high in the mountains. You have the Bastio district, which is on a floating piece of unearthed landmass. And the last is to go back to Eden and poke around the origins of the Slate Cloud City.
Amalia, I'm taking
Now-
my vote back.
Oh, you're back.
Yeah. Mountain.
Do you want me to explain that again?
No,
I mean,
Just in case.
you weren't here for.
I imagined that it was like A, hearing good, B, caught the last bit of it and heard the three options.
Yeah, sure,
Doesn't
that's
need to
fine.
know any more than that. He probably absolutely does. But he's like, yeah, no, I want to go to the mountain. Yeah, absolutely. I know what's going on.
The
I
only
mean, I
problem-
already wanted to go to the mountains anyway someday, so why not now?
Yeah, exactly. It's not like we can't do the other ones. We can certainly do Eden whenever and wherever.
Because the people up in the mountain are all true namers.
Oh, great. You're with your kind or whatever. Yeah, great. Awesome.
They were.
Yeah,
They were.
about that. They're the guys that employ Jidect.
Oh.
All right,
Well,
so then we go confront them.
yeah, no, yeah, kill him, yeah.
Hmm. Well, I wanted to go and deal with the Braxy, but if the vote's for the mountains,
Oh, wait, which one is Abraxy at again?
the Bastio district.
Okay, I vote for the Bastio district.
Yeah, but at the same time, the Bastio district, kinda risky. Not many places to go if we, catch heat. Kind of up in the sky.
But they're all risky. I mean,
The mountains are way less risky. We can hide wherever the hell we want there.
The mountains are not less risky because they're all true namers. They're all
Yeah,
wizards.
magic spells like scry and the like.
Yeah, can't cast Scry if you're being garroted.
You can't hide if you're garroting them.
Well, yeah, but they're garroted, so it doesn't matter. Virgil.
How many true namers do you think there are there? 7?
Probably an amount. I mean, it's not like they all. It's not like if one true namer dies, everyone's alerted.
Wouldn't Cecil be aware that these are the guys that like send purges into his district?
Yes.
Wasn't he employed by these people?
I don't think he was employed by them.
I
Cecil,
think he just
Cecil
did
was
it because
self-employed.
he's a wacko.
Self-employed. People like them enough to like, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah,
So
no,
he-
yeah.
So yeah, but he's still aware that like
That
these are the
said,
people.
a big thing
purge-
about Cecil is that he doesn't share any real sense of kinship with the Eshevians because, like,
Oh no, I'm not saying that he should be like, oh, these guys killed my people, therefore I should go fuck them up. I'm saying these guys are the guys who send like the death purges into the district every so often.
it does definitely frame them as a force to be reckoned with.
I'm not particularly.
Well, I hate them because I grew up in the Eshevi district,
I
and
grew up in the Eshevi district.
You grew up in the Eshvi district?
I rescued
fuck?
her.
I had to
Oh.
duck down away from them whenever they'd. Yeah, hate
You
them.
know, if the timeline was like 1-to-1, I might have actually been trying to kill you at one point. Funny.
I don't think
Anyway.
she was as kooky from, PTSD back then.
Ah, could have fooled me. Anyways,
Sorry, Captain.
well, yeah, no, yeah. I mean, if
I'm
anything,
down for doing literally that one last because I don't want to deal with the Shavai in any sort of capacity.
but at
Yeah,
the
it's
same
kind of a
time,
dump.
we kind
It's
of
the
know,
worst.
at the very least, we know what we're up against if we go there. I mean, I know what they do. I mean, I'm assuming Virgil might if he wasn't hiding in a sewer grate somewhere.
Ugh.
I should also say for that one, our boss did let me in on some information about that.
Go ahead, yeah. Share.
So these denizens, they are inversely strong as they are intelligent.
Okay, that's good.
The Eshevi demon doesn't have. It's just basically working on instinct alone.
That's good, yeah. No, that means, animals are easier to trap.
It means that one is the strongest of them.
Yes, but also the dumbest.
If it's working on
It's like
intelligence,
Also-
when you wrestle with an alligator plant and you just have to hold its mouth closed and then.
Also, Cecil, do remember that when you said that and then Dildana did her own insight on it, she was like, this thing is like maybe almost nearly as strong as me.
Yeah,
And you saw what
And?
Dildana did.
I most certainly did, but that doesn't. We're gonna have to do it anyways. I've kind of resigned myself to that fact.
I love how you're like Cecil is having an in-character conversation with me, Stuart.
Oh well, I can't.
He's
I-
just in character. They're just in
It's
character.
so hard to tell. No, I wasn't even in character. I thought you were talking as Amalia. Excuse me.
permit me a point in that regard, though. Might as well run with it after all, right? You might as well run with it after all, right? If they are, in fact, proportional to their intelligence and their strength, then the Bastio district, theoretically, would be based off of Abraxi, who seems intelligent enough that it could be weak enough in Eden. Hmm?
That's true.
So
only-
he's a soft target?
That's the theory.
Arguing that also means that one of the smartest ones, theoretically. So that's not exactly some. We're gonna have to deal with them all eventually. But specifically speaking,
All right.
keeping the
Give
weaker
me-
ones alive last seems smarter.
Roderick kind of turns his head. I know I don't have a vote in this, but
Why not?
keeping the weaker ones alive for longer gives them more time to plan.
Ah, true. Actually, do you want to go to the Bastio?
I would say
Bastion.
I would say we go to the Bastion only because all the
It'll be
people
fun.
all the people in the Elysian district want to kill me. If they want to kill me, then they have to leave their own district to come to me.
They didn't seem to have a problem with that. I mean,
Oh no, they don't have a problem with it, but they're easier to kill out there.
A door
I
in
mean-
space opens again, and out steps the truth speaker.
oh, that prick. I mean,
Hey.
hi.
You should not be here.
He's already been.
Does Razorface know?
There's something wrong, Amalia.
You're gonna have to narrow that one down a lot.
He purses his lips, but it's hardly visible through his beard. Well, I'm thinking it over, and it doesn't make sense to be this close to the Alec district, and to have only run into one assassin. That being Arthur. He kind of
That's his name.
muses this to himself. He looks at you, Cecil, and says, yes.
Sorry.
His name is Arthur Churcham. And
Wait, who's Arthur?
What? Who?
Which assassin? What have you guys been getting up to since I went out while I was gone?
The one with the mask that
Razor
calls himself
face.
a goofy name.
Yeah.
Oh, the guy who caught me.
Yeah. You see, we're kind of. I mean, we're kind of.
He calls himself Razorface. Why?
Yeah, he's a bit of a pompous prick. But I mean, he did say
Razorface is so much worse a name.
Yeah, it's true.
I
But, I mean,
respect his intelligence.
I'm gonna call him Arthur for now on. But I mean, him and I are, we've got a bond. I mean, he saved Sentra. I killed his dog.
Might I suggest that we'd have a bigger bond, and even I'm not stepping across that line? But then I've seen what he can do.
The curious
Fought
thing-
toe to toe with him.
The
so-
curious thing you have to understand is that Churcham employs an entourage. He very rarely works alone, and even then, when he does, he usually lets happenstance do the dirty work for him. He's a facilitator of death. He doesn't get down
He's
into
a
the
lazy
nitty-gritty by
assassin.
himself. That's actually a good way of putting it. I think there's some curiosities. And if you lot don't want to pay a visit to the Alec district, I may do so myself, just to keep an eye on things while you're poking
I'm sorry,
around.
Fine with me.
Aren't they all? Like you know the only reason they're coming after me is because they can't find you, right?
Yes. He kind of gets this guilty look.
Yeah, take some responsibility, guy.
Oh, I mean, I don't mind, but it just like you kind of sticking your head into the line. You're kind of sticking your head into the lines.
But you have to understand, I'm sticking my head into the lion's den to see if it's empty, Amalia. Why is Arthur the only one that's come after me?
Because I already killed Jidect.
What if the rest are just
Twice.
like-
Ah, you're right. The two Eleusians, they're finally been eradicated. All but me.
Well, I'll be willing to bet it's because they're busy with probably colluding with the Tenebrae, knowing our luck.
Well, or the Tenebrae has, done some shadowy shit to them,
No,
Either or.
wait, hang on. You're actually right. Why has there only been one, and why have none of these guys? She looks at.
Another point towards
she-
curiosity is that Arthur is a bastard. He's not an Eleusian. He was adopted.
Oh, I thought you meant bastard as in...
Well,
Well, he's one of those too. Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, and she looks at Virgil. She looks at Cecil for a second. It's like shrugs. Yeah, same point. She turns back. Now you mention it, I mean, it's not covered under either of my schools, but They have to have some divination wizards up there, right?
They have some quite terrifying divination wizards. That's why I hardly come out.
And yet they seem to be having a bit of a trouble finding us.
And now,
Question.
what is this about the Tenebrae? The Tenebrae are working with the Eleusians?
It's just a possibility, mind you.
Have we
The
seen?
I've,
Tenebrae could also be sabotaging the Elysium.
Have we seen?
No, Jaidet was definitely working with the Tenebrae.
This takes a bit of precedence. Does divination, whatever that may entail,
To look
Have
That's
to
the
do-
one that lets you look on people.
have to do with the soul?
Not really.
Lothian looks down, and then he looks up and says, "I see where you're coming from, and that's a possible lead. But if it were to not
We
work,
know
they
about
would...
us not quite having
Shh. I'm tired of everyone interrupting everyone. Cecil, it's very possible that a lack of soul could get in the way of divination magic, but they do have alternatives that they would have then turned to.
Do they have anything like, those old witches' tales about sympathy magic? If you've got something of someone's, you can track them. Is that something that's real?
Oh, that's actually very real, but it turns out you need someone's name, not their hair, or any garbage like that.
That's way fucking harder. Why don't wizards just make easier spells? Jesus.
If we think that Eleusians are working with the Tenebrae, have we seen any members of the Tenebrae recently?
Yeah, actually. Cyrus guy and one of his friends wearing Tenebrae shit.
Then maybe, before we decide to go anywhere, we pay them a visit. Give ourselves
haven't lost
the advantage in numbers for once.
haven't lost his scent yet.
He gives you just this smirk, Cecil. Next time I come out, I'll be shaven. Looks like I have
Thanks.
some work to do.
And take this. Cecil grabs one of like the comically large gems from out of his like rag pocket. Get a coat.
So you toss the gem, he catches it in midair, and he says, alternatively, he looks at Virgil. Maybe a grape chew?
Yeah, I'm on it.
He tosses the gem back to you, Cecil, giving a nod of thanks, and takes the candy as payment instead. I can get my own clothes.
Right, good to know.
Opens
I'll
the
be
door
Not
to
many
reality.
people like grape, but okay.
He opens the door and is gone.
Well, let's get a look on for that Cyrus fellow then, I guess. I'll sniff him out.
If anything, this will give us time to weigh all three options.
You know, Tenebrae robes have a certain kind of smell to them.
Like Tide
I'm sure
Pods.
they
They
do.
probably wear them too much without washing.
Something a bit jaundiced, yeah. Maybe it's just that death follows them wherever I smell them.
And Cecil makes off. Are you taking anyone with you?
Yeah, actually. Just for this quick expedition, people who are fast, so Virgil, let's go.
Alright.
The rest of you, I'm not in any shape to make orders, but you've all got stuff to do, I suppose.
The two of you make off.
That I do.
And it's
What?
a bit... It's to a happier tune than it has been. The thick smog of ash in the air has still obfuscated the time of day, leaving it this kind of feeling of eternal evening. But now that there are survivors in the wreckage and people from the surrounding areas coming together and pulling up the pieces of rubble, you can already see the fruits of their labors as you cross a few burial mounds that have been completed, some that are in the process of being completed, and
You know, Virgil, something about the Eshavai that I think us exclusively are, quite acquainted with is that shared trauma is oddly efficient.
It's the worst. But you're right. I was traumatized and came out a medical menace. You were traumatized and came out an assassination menace.
Yeah, it happens like that. Anyway, sorry, Eric. Let's continue your narration.
It's gonna take you a while to find them.
Even with a 25 passive.
No, you know exactly where they are. They're just
Oh.
far.
I see. We've got a lot of walking ahead of us, Virgil. You know, in this time, I learned a thing or two about hiding at a distance. And Cecil kind of like looks around the area for like, kind of like what is the fantasy equivalent of a tarp, like, or something like some sort of like loose but big fabric.
Yeah, you pretty quickly find in the wreckage some fabric that's been badly torn, and
All right.
I'm gonna say just for shits, because you're traveling kind of northwest anyways. It is it's the wreckage of your shitty hang glider.
Cecil laughs and picks it up and kind of like tears one of the sticks off. It's like,
What the hell was that?
oh, that's how I escaped stealing from Azitra's fucking stash. Oh, it's the old hang glider.
Actually, I've been meaning to ask, how did you get back? What even was that?
Rocket ship. And he just
Oh,
continues walking.
what?
You're gonna be wanting to wear one of these. They're like, you know what a ghillie suit is?
Yes.
Yeah. As Cecil takes his coat, and this coat has seen so much fucking abuse. It's a miracle it's still in one piece. As he kind of rolls it up with a bunch of rubble and ash and rocks.
It's actually good as new. The prestidigitation did wonders.
Now it's prestidig.
That should have really that's Mending's job, but
Yeah.
Well, it's not like it was just dirty, I think.
I think so.
yeah, I guess.
Because Cecil took it off whenever there was a major conflict. But yeah. Yeah, he fills it with like rocks and rubble and like drapes other pieces of cloth over it and finds like something to utilize as a hood. So, you know, he is now he's Call of Duty colors.
All right.
Just,
So on a 360-second cooldown, you will now escape a monster's notice and can sharpen your weapon in peace, Virgil.
what?
It's a monster hunter trick.
Fuck.
Oh!
I'm just kidding. You have a ghillie suit.
Right, yeah. So yeah, they're walking kind of like now, they're that way, Cecil points, and it's like, but I think we should, you know, keep close to walls of rubble, just, you know, because I mean, I think that we're pretty disguised like this, all things considered.
And just to cut back to the others, almost as if they were brought to the forefront of the DM's memory by the topic of conversation between Cecil and Virgil, an interesting fellow comes up closer to camp, and in tow is Rudolph.
Holy shit. He's alive?
This person in front, they're different. Much of their body is made of iron, and they're tall and lithe, and they have a very stern-looking, half-metallic face. They almost look like a person fused with a furnace, as this deep orange glow is emitted from a grate on their chest. And they're missing the lower half of their left arm. Hello there. I was told that this little greatling knows you. And he kind of looks to Rudolph and then to the rest of you. And Rudolph looks fine, just very, very dirty and very tired. And like he just ran a marathon. His hair's all like slicked with sweat and messy.
Yeah, you're at the right camp. Well, I'm gonna be honest. I am surprised you are alive.
Oh, hey, were you there? Did no buildings fell on you?
Rudolph kind of just wipes
Well,
his
I'm not
forehead.
there, but you know.
You are. This
Oh.
is back at
Oh, wait.
camp.
Oh. Right.
Rudolph rubs his forehead and he says, "No, I wasn't actually here when everything fell. I came running like crazy from he kind of jabs a thumb over his shoulder. I was at a place called Underbasin. I thought I saw Cecil jump off of the tiered gardens, and well, it was
Wow.
with the hang glider that I made him, and I wanted to make sure he was okay, but I never ended up finding him. And then I learned that this guy shot him out of a cannon."
You shot Virgil out of a cannon?
Cecil.
Sorry, you shot Cecil out of a cannon?
Oh, what was that like?
Well, it was the prototype run, and it wasn't me alone, actually. It was me and my partner. A solemn look comes over their face. You see, I wasn't at this wreckage either.
Right, yeah, that is a good thing, I think. He looks around.
You know Cecil,
So, yeah, I know Cecil.
then? Can you deliver a message for me?
Sure. What do you want to tell him?
Tell Cecil that Madhead is grateful that Cecil presented the opportunity for Shirkin to see the fruits of their labors enacted at least once.
Okay. Anything else you would like to tell him?
If you'd like to see me, I believe I'll be back in Underbasin. He should know the way. I'll leave you all to it, unless you need something from me.
Amalia looks at Kavib. Anything?
Sorry, I'm trying to. My cat. Sorry, what did you say?
Do you need anything from the strange robot man?
Maybe some metal shavings. Other than that, but I can probably buy that when we get.
Yeah, he takes out a big sack of stuff that he's got, and I guess he'll just give you some shit. Is high good or bad?
High is terrible.
Alright. So, slightly better than average. There you go. You got some heat vestigials, iron shrapnel, and combustive ammunition casings. Heat vestigials are things that will basically they're like charges, and when you activate one, it'll very, very rapidly heat something up. So you can use that in the creation of stuff.
How many? One?
Shit out some numbers. 3 heat vestigials, 10 pounds of iron shrapnel, and 10 combustive ammunition casings.
Very well
Hi,
done.
get off
Very
my
well done.
board.
So, after that, he leaves, and Rudolph just kind of goes over and sits next to Roderick and is like, "Holy shit, dude. What the fuck's going on? I found Silverblood, by the way. She's over with Zavoim. They've got a little tent to themselves.
Take it Zavoim is treating her?
Something like that. She's definitely not okay.
But, and Molly just sort of, what does something like that mean?
Well, I didn't go in the tent. I just saw Zavoim, chatted with him a bit, and he told me. I don't do so great with, He looks around, quickly finds, like, some charred remains and gestures to them with an icky expression on his face. You know, that stuff. I try to, you know, look at alive people.
Molly just...
That said, haven't seen any Frederick around.
So as this happens, Amalia is just gonna be like, right, Frederick, all right, then I know what I will do. And Amalia is going to cast a few sendings.
On?
Sending number 1. Yeah, sending number 1 is going to Dirt Scratch.
Okay. While you get those settled, heading back over to Virgil and Cecil, you come up several hours later on, one second. You come upon Cyrus and his companion. They are sitting at a small sort of communal pyre that's surrounded by the burials. From this distance, it almost seems like maybe they were assisting, and the vast majority of them have finished, and it looks like they're sharing a meal. There's probably a total
You
of
said several hours. How long is several hours?
10 or 11 people. 4.
Okay. That takes out Apocrypha, so no more glowing corpse.
Great. So, as they're chatting, Cecil...
How far away are you guys?
Let's say let's say 30 meters.
Okay.
Virgil,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna assume you don't want to be in any open confrontations.
Not particularly, no.
Excellent. So, what that means then is that can you monitor this at a distance?
Presumably there's enough rubble to hide behind where I can do just that.
Easily. You don't even have
Okay.
to roll. Like, it's hard to see anyone coming.
Just had to make sure.
Uh,
Because otherwise, you know, if you don't make sure, somebody's like, and they spot you. Motherfucker.
May I roll stealth to get up there without being noted?
Yep.
Or do I even have to?
Yeah, to get up in like close contact, you do. Just not
Would
from
it be with
30
any sort of
meters.
advantage or?
Yeah, they wouldn't know you're there if you're.
Sweet. So I already got advantage. I got double advantage. Get fooled, kid.
Oh, I thought you meant is there an advantage to being stealthed? I don't think you get advantage to the roll.
Umbral armor.
That's going to Frederick.
I always get advantage on a stealth roll, baby.
Didn't you buy 2 things of Umbral
Oh,
armor?
that's right. You do have Umbral
No,
armor.
it was Mithraline.
Yeah, Amalia has the
And
Mithril. So
Yeah.
go ahead. Roll
I
with
don't even
advantage.
remember what all you bought, but all I remember
Quite a
is you
bit.
giving this stuff.
26 or 26?
Wow,
Does
that's
does
statistically
your
unlikely.
stealth check beat a 52? Yeah, you're really stealthy.
Alright, great.
You want to describe your
So-
approach?
Um,
It looks like the most effective approach is going to be one where you blend in with the crowd. But with the 26, you could be functionally invisible, yeah.
yeah, so Cecil is actually just like... Cecil is following this path that he set out for himself in, like, the one specific way of getting there that has no rubble attributed to it. It's, like, all solid pieces of ground, which is kind of miraculous. But, yeah, so he just walks up to their pyre.
A lot of the people around them are talking to each other, but they're not really participating in the conversation, other than a few kind of scant mutterings to one another, very quietly, and pretty sporadically.
As they're doing that, Cecil very sneakily, like, walks up to behind them, leans his head in between the two of them, and is like, "What are you guys talking about?"
Yes. You think?
So both of them kind of jump at your sudden introduction, and Cyrus looks at you and says, "Oh, terribly sorry, but well, we're discussing some relatively sensitive matters."
How are the Eleusinians doing? And I would like to. I'm going to, like, just go full, like, I want you to slip up interrogation mode. Can this be, like, counted as an intimidation?
Yes.
As just in, like, all right, great.
So Cyrus blinks a couple of times and says, "Okay, buddy. I thought for a second that you weren't one of the people we were helping with the pyres. And you clearly know a lot. So you can tell his left leg is kind of kicking up and down on its toe really, really rapidly, sort of as a nervous tick.
Is that your tell?
Listen, I know what you're trying to do. You're very scary. Congratulations. I definitely have information. I know who the Eleusinians are. I know you know who the Eleusinians are. But just let me collect my thoughts before I start blabbering about everything. Okay?
Excellent.
And you kind of get this look of amusement from his companion. These two people, they're Cyrus is this kind of not short, but he's not tall. He's this man of average height. He's kind of lanky with dark, windswept hair above these two raven eyes and a youngish face. He doesn't really hold any obvious weapon, and the woman with her has this light-hearted, kind of approachable look with white hair draped in a lackadaisical ponytail that is kind of just brought across her shoulder. And he says, "Okay, were you with the people that..." He points in the direction of the party. Them? So wait, no, I know, I'm not in the position to ask questions. You're right. Your answers first. The Eleusinians. What do I know about the Eleusinians? I'm not in law, so I don't know anything. I'm in prophecy. I've been across the world, basically, and I've only recently gotten back. I fell in with Azitra, and look at where that's got me.
What did the Tenebrae intend to be doing with the Alec district?
With the Aluk district? He gulps. Like I said, that has to do with the law.
And where can I find, preferably, the isolatedest, or most isolated of the law?
He kind of thins his lips. Well, I know that they were situated in the Cherus some time ago.
Ah, yes. They succeeded there too, I suppose.
Did they? We haven't heard back from them.
Well, yeah, about that. They succeeded in destroying it. They didn't succeed in leaving. He says with kind of like the weight that someone who was actively stopping them would say.
Then I suppose you've killed the people you want information from?
Wait, all of them? Shit. With that in mind, I...
Wait. Hold on. We got off on the wrong foot. I understand. Ashton, shut up! I understand the necessity an approach like yours has, but let me assure you, this type of intimidation isn't needed. I am Cyrus. I believe. Oh, fuck, we've already met.
Yeah, we're already acquainted. Sorry,
Okay.
no, it's force of habit, really. No, yeah, we did get off.
This fine woman with me is Stella. Go ahead and say hi, Stella. And Stella
Is
just
that your
kinda
real name, miss?
gives a little wave and says, "Yes, it is, in fact, my real name."
Wow, I'm impressed.
Can't say I have yours, though.
Oh, I'm Cecil. That name holds no weight or water, as I've got no surname. But it's the best I've got at the moment.
Pleasure. Also, very effective. She kind of gives you a nod of approval. We have something to learn
No.
from you.
I would be flattered if I, wasn't currently on edge. At the moment, I should say, what do you get out of being, a part of the Tenebrae? I'm actually quite curious. I've always been.
What do I get?
What's...
And
Yeah.
as I said, me and this woman here, Stella, we are part of the prophecy. The Tenebrae is split into sects, you see. We have the law, we have the history, we have the poetry, and we have the prophecy. And, well, it is... Well, what do we get? It's a little culty.
Yeah, pick that one up.
It's not really a thing that I got up and chose for myself, something that was thrust upon me because the world around me fell to shit, and I try to do the best with what I'm given, and as it happens, the best with the Tenebrae is, well, quite elevated. They have a stunning repository of knowledge at their disposal, and they are infamously shadowy about what each of the sects are doing. However, as a member of the prophecy, I can assure you that, in a strange way, we are the most independent.
I see. And I'm not going to stand on some sort of moral soapbox myself, but I'm assuming you're aware and alright with, the current, the intended effect of the Chair's District's destruction.
Can't say I was, no. That is all under the law's jurisdiction. I know of the fact that they have a means with which to call the otherworldly to this plane, but everything beyond that escapes me.
Funny. Well...
I do have a question.
Fuck it, go ahead.
How are you alive?
Simple.
Breathing.
I stopped the moon and left to a area in which I probably won't disclose. Then came back after all of this happened.
And you want to know about the Eleusians?
Specifically, Now, this is a bit of an odd question. Do you know if they've sent many assassins out?
Listen, I asked because I too want to know about the Eleusians. I also want to know about the other sects of the Tenebrae, and I think that this relationship, he just kind of gestures between the two of you, is a mutually beneficial one. I help you, you help me. We have different areas of expertise, and they no doubt complement each other after having seen your proficiency. Allow me to show you mine.
He waits on standby?
It's a figure of speech. It will have to be in time, but I am proposing a partnership of sorts.
Great. Now, I have a question.
Well, with the fact that you almost made me shit myself earlier, you are entitled to as many questions as you can think of.
Amazing. Sorry, what was her name?
Stella.
Stella. Now, Stella, are you all right with this? Are you planning on following him around which way he goes?
I'm going to be accompanying Cyrus, no matter what decision you come to.
Excellent. Very happy to hear it. I can cast Rachimim no matter how many times, as long as I have the effort for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Pauses. S name. Oh wow, I'm bad
Stella?
with
They're
names.
both
Stella,
S names,
thank you.
S names.
Yeah, Stella. I have heard so very little. I'd like to do Rachimim on her.
Okay. Go ahead and roll 24d8.
Yep.
Do you not spell Cyrus Cyrus?
This guy is
100.
Syrus.
110. Get it?
Oh,
Why you gotta be like that?
It
because he is.
it doesn't quite.
All right, great. So she's slowed. I'm assuming. Before you, I guess it's slowed. Now, Cyrus, there is
Hold
something
on.
I shouldn't.
So you snap and she starts to her smile stays there, but she goes to move her head and it kind of happens slower. She doesn't notice, and neither does Cyrus, because his focal point is still on you. But go ahead and talk.
That's new. Well, anyways, all I was going to say is that if this is some sort of trick or lie, I will be actively killing you. And I was just using this to make a vague point, but apparently, it will take more effort than I had originally anticipated. So that's a plus in your books.
What was supposed to be a point?
Stella, raise your right hand
Stella goes
as fast
to do,
as you can.
Stella goes to do so, realizes something is wrong, and kind of looks at it questioningly, then at you. Oh, that's quite interesting. Cyrus is like, what the fuck?
Snaps. She goes back to regular space time.
She kind of like
she's.
smooths out her clothes. That
You know what?
you said you froze the moon?
Yeah, honestly, that's kind of interesting that it didn't freeze you. I guess it's because, you're animate.
Or I'm bigger than the moon. She just kind of says matter-of-factly, and then
It's true, you
gives a
could be.
little giggle. Cyrus is just thoroughly what the fucked out, and he's like, yes, so you'll kill me if... Perfect. Yeah, no.
Yeah, it's the old, I'll kill you if you're fucking with me.
And if
yada, yada,
you're
yada.
fucking with me, I'll kill you too, Cecil, so better watch your step.
Yeah, absolutely, I will.
Anyways,
Well, I mean, I always do, but...
maybe, we take a trip out of this riffraff then.
Yep. Our camp is that way. Happy hunting, see you there.
And they kind of stand up, and you just take off? Or what are you doing?
Waves hand to Virgil.
I heard all that, did I?
No, absolutely not. You're too far away, and other people are talking louder than they were.
Yeah, so Virgil sees Cecil coming with the two of them.
What?
Virgil.
Cyrus gives a cordial wave. Oh, You're cute.
Yeah, he is, isn't he? Anyways, take these two back to camp. If you don't make it back, I'll follow them and kill them.
Oh,
And
don't worry. We wouldn't harm anything as adorable as you. And
As
Cyrus reaches out and very condescendingly, like rubs one of your ears.
I will
as
destroy you.
As this happens, Cecil kind of steps back into the ash and smoke, and presumably Umbral armor activates as he is
Yeah,
no
sure,
longer
just
able to
invisible
see.
again.
Yep.
Do you want to talk to them, Virgil?
It's a long fucking walk back.
So, are you all? What are they called?
No, we're not all felines or palterins or of any sort.
Yes, Palturans. That was their name. Well, I don't have a lot of exposure to you, and
I can tell.
I'm a little sadder for it. I quite like my first impressions, even if your friend is a little absolutely terrifying. I am Cyrus.
Oh, so he did that. He did the ooh, hey, tell me what you know thing, didn't he? Did he uncoil the scythe on his back?
He has a no. There
Trust
were
me, that's
several
terrifying.
death threats, several very nonchalant death threats.
Yeah, well, he hunts doctors, so
Oh.
malpracticing doctors. That is.
Cyrus and Stella look at one another, and he says, "Well, good thing neither of us are one of those." What's your name? This is Stella, by the way.
My name is Virgil.
Is there anything pressing you want to bring up, or are you guys just gonna chill?
So you're on our side now?
They're not back at camp yet.
Yeah, I can't keep track.
I can't actually think of anything pressing with such a condescending introduction. Virgil kind of wants to maybe they briefly go over what Cecil fucking did to them, but
Okay. So after a bit, Virgil brings back the two Tenebrae to the rest of camp. Rudolph kind of freezes up as he sees them. Guys, Virgil brought some bad guys.
Cecil terrified them into working with us.
Cecil rematerializes next to Rudolph's body?
Ah!
Hey, why not?
Yeah, they're,
I terrify people all the time.
Hi,
Hey, does that
Rudolph.
mean we're allowed to keep terrifying them? Because I have some new plant hybrids I'd like to try out.
yeah. No, yeah.
Oh, great.
As I mentioned, we're all fucking scary in our own right.
Malia sort of gets up here, walks over, looks at them, looks at Cecil. Sort of rubs the bridge of her nose, and then she is going to head off to go find Zavlium and Silverblood.
You do pretty quick. They're kind of close by. You find Zavoim kind of outside a pitched tent. It's not one of those triangular tents. It's one of those tents that kind of is just is like a pavilion, and it's got a table on the inside, and you can see Asalia lying on top of it. Oh, hello, Amalia.
So, how's she doing?
She's definitely going to live. The recuperation time may be a little longer than the potion usually takes, but that is just from the trauma, the lengths I had to go to save her.
Oh, it's good that she's gonna. It's good that she's going to pull through. I actually kind of wanted to ask you something. It's more of a personal matter.
I am listening.
So, from what I gathered from a little while ago, you worked with the Paragon.
Worked with is not the appropriate wordage.
Hey, he worked with us.
That sort of answers my question, because that's the kind of tone I have to take when I'm talking about Cecil or Virgil or Gavi.
Zavoim just kind of blinks and looks at you and says, "Well, then you are absolutely in for something that I do not envy."
I just wanted to know, how did you deal with that?
How did I deal with that?
Yeah, you're alive and sane.
How did I deal with that? He stops to think for a second.
He fucked off and became mayor
Um,
of someone else.
I don't think I'm actually the person you want to be questioning. Are you aware of any of the members of Brightshore's secretaries?
Am I?
We roll history.
Why is my character sheet minimized? Why is Alright, gonna try and fix this.
History.
Yeah, my character sheet's like minimized into a tiny little thing. I'm trying to get it back.
You know that the headmaster is important, and his name's Tybalt.
I'm aware of Tibble.
Well, I believe he was kind of the one holding the reins on that particular wild bull, or dragon, as she would probably prefer to be called. Just to know that he in himself was quite exceptional in dealing with said dragon. The evocation professor of that time, his name was Rodenzer. He was driven completely mad.
Oh no!
Would you like some advice, Amalia?
I think I either need advice or I need drink.
Probably.
Possibly both.
Do you like
Their
dogs?
voices get a drink.
Do you like dogs?
Is Malia a dog person? Yeah, Malia's a dog person.
Deep down, deep in their heart of hearts, dogs are capable of, Ashton, I'm gonna kill you! Shut up!
Dogs are capable of killing Ashton.
Dogs are
Amazing.
capable of losing themselves to their instincts.
Hi, Ashton. I still love you.
And he's playing Among Us, and he's just screaming at people.
That's a mood.
I think that I'm a little bit sullying the name of dogs in this comparison, but everyone has favorable attributes, whether they be nigh indestructibility or
Being
gods,
a total tad.
or being incredibly dense and thus incapable of self-criticism, but strangely enough a good person regardless. Some of them are obsessed with swords and fighting strong things. We all have our vices, Amalia. I have my own vices. You have your own vices. Just accept that if fate is going to slam you against the same bricks over and over again, just acquaint yourself with the bricks. Learn their names, learn what drives them. And try to have as good a time as you can, because gods, it will be a long time before you're able to really push yourself off. In a way of speaking.
Amalia just sighs, like, there's a dialogue going on in their head right now.
As for the drink, are you sure you're quite old enough? And he kind of gives you a smirk and produces a vial from his robe.
Listen,
Goblin special potion.
I will have you know that I have seen 21 summers. And this one has been the longest of all of them.
He slowly, with a smirk, offers the vial to you. And would you like to see a little more?
But, what respect is this?
It is just an old speciality of mine.
Ayahuasca?
Sure, why not?
Drink it before bed. And he turns back to Silverblood. If there's nothing else, I ask that you excuse me.
Will you, let me know when she wakes up?
Oh, I didn't know you were concerned with her condition. I was planning on sending her your way either way. You are capable of those teleportation circles, yes?
She nods. Well, it kind of just occurred to me that we're kind of all she's got left here too.
Not much of one, actually. She was actually an exile of this district. She's got quite a lot of headhunters after her, and frankly, I'm glad that we slipped their notice when we landed. All but Azitra, of course.
Yeah, I suspect they might think twice about it since we apparently blew up a moon.
And called the Paragon of the Shadow Plane.
Yeah, that too. All these things actually happen. Yeah, I'm not like... This isn't like before going into the afterlife, is it?
If you have seen more than 21 summers, Amalia, I assure you I have seen over 1,000. His smirk fades, and he is completely deadpan in this moment.
Alright, yeah, that's a few. That is a few more than I have seen. So I am willing to take your word for it that I am not dead.
If you're ever thinking twice, I do have potions that will put you under if you so choose. Some consider them inhumane, but I take liberties. He kind of thumbs around a few files on his belt.
Surprisingly, as he says this, like, Malia just sort of looks incredibly like grateful. Sort of says, "You have no idea how badly I need to hear someone even have a semblance of pretending to have morals."
He gives you a toothy grin.
Well, Cecil's calling me out like that, I suppose I had better go answer.
It has been a pleasure, and I will I will hurry Silverblood along in her recovery. He kind of walks over and gives a few light smacks to one of her cheeks. Wake up, you dumb piece of God. He's just cursing under his breath. And you take off?
Yeah.
Alright, so as you get back, you see that Cyrus and Stella are there with Rudolph. In fact, you were there when Madhead brought Rudolph, so Rudolph's not new.
Hi,
I was-
Amalia.
I mean, I was also here when, like, they arrived.
Okay,
So
no problem.
they've just been. I just like to think the entire thing has just been like standing here saying awkwardly, like,
Cyrus
Is she coming back to say something? Or
Cyrus and Stella actually, I think, have started like unpacking some things and making this place a little more campier. Like they've erected a tent of their own. Stella's cooking food over the pyre that was coming up through the cracks that you guys were gathered around. There's some accommodations made for Roderick, who looks like he's trying to get a nap in, and Rudolph is sharing some notes with Cyrus. They're sitting on a charred log.
So, yeah, we've come to a bit of a vague agreement. Me and Cyrus and Stella.
Aye, we have, in fact. We have a mutual goal to discover what's going on over in the Aluk district. However, I think we can agree that I am merely operating on your schedule. There is no rush, and you may ask of my abilities whenever you may need them.
great, good to know. And she's like, sorry, you are related to the guys who were like, burning
Causing
the
doom and destruction.
burning the Cheris district down.
Stella and Cyrus exchange a look, and then he looks back to you. Yes.
And you're okay
So-
with that.
No.
So, hi.
I suppose I should have said. Dissent is handled a certain way in the Tenebrae that makes me okay with it.
Dissent is
Okay.
handled in a certain way that makes you okay with them killing people.
All right. Hang on.
His smile
Well, let's-
fades and he looks much stonier as he meets your glance, Catherine.
I mean, like, people who count. Like, people who are. We're killing a
Really?
district.
Well, let's start from the top again. Hi, my name is Amalia. I'm a true namer. We've been going around killing your gods. Now, would you like to explain this in a way that makes sense?
The denizens are not our gods.
Whatever. Godlike entities. If you wanna qualm about semantics, that's fine.
Actually, that is quite interesting. He rocks back on his seat and leans against some rubble behind him as he takes out a tome, flips to a page, and begins to scribe a bit. This means that you were likely there during the destruction of the Cherus from the Law Sect, no?
Yes, we were.
Huh. Well, then I am even more glad to be in your company.
Because
You're
we
not
want
going
to
to
kill you?
like write any of this and send off information to the rest of them, are you?
He purses his lips.
You're taking too long to think about answering.
I don't think our goals are too dissimilar. And that is where we're going to leave off.
Whoa.